Hi guys! Today we're going to be talking about the often overlooked soleus muscle, which is part of your calf. So today we're going to be talking about what is it. We're going to be talking about problems that can occur if it is not strengthened or if you lack flexibility in it, how you can attest for flexibility and mobility in your soleus, and lastly, I'm going to provide you with a few exercises that you can do yourself at home. No weights needed, about 4 of those to strengthen it. So let's get started. So before we get started, my name is Mark. I am a doctor of physical therapy. I am 50% of Mobility Duo with my wife Sarah. Our credentials are in the description below. We are health professionals and athletes working primarily with snowboard and ski athletes. Before we get started, here is our new sticker. Check it out. This is collaboration with Northwest Arts and Recreation. Check that out in the description below. Okay, so what is the soleus? Soleus is often overlooked. By its older brother, if you call it that, the gastroc. So if you look at the soleus, I'll try to add in some anatomy pictures here. The soleus is the muscle that sits below the gastroc. You have the 2 heads of the gastroc that sit on top. That's what most people see. Below that, if you pulled that away, you have the soleus. So the soleus attaches to the fibula and the tibia, and it attaches to the Achilles tendon. These both attach to the Achilles tendon. The difference with the soleus, though, is it doesn't cross the back of the knee joint, whereas the gastroc does. So the big giveaway with strengthening the soleus is often you'll see people with a bent knee. This is because it puts the gastroc on slack and really allows you to isolate that soleus. So the big thing with the soleus is it is almost primarily a slow twitch muscle, so it's very, very difficult to tire out because it's meant to last a long time for endurance, whereas the gastroc is more for those powerful movements, such as sprinting, pushing off the block. These are both primary plantar flexors, so pushing that foot down, pedal down to the metal, as well as the soleus is a very primary supporter of the ankle. It's often overlooked because people like to strengthen that gastroc because it's superficial. It's what you see at the beach. It's what you see when you wear shorts. But it's very, very important, especially for runners, and especially for snowboarders who are often in that squat position where it will be the primary stabilizer and the plantar flexor when you're popping off of a jump. So, what are some of the problems that can occur with this lack of dorsiflexion or your ability to bring that foot up? And they've really actually found quite a bit. So the main ones are primarily in those squat and deadlift positions where you are lifting or carrying large amounts of weight, lowering them down in an eccentric position and then pushing them back up in a concentric position. If you don't have that mobility in your ankles to dorsiflex properly, you're going to put stress on other areas of your body, such as your knees, your hips, your low back. And this is where problems can occur. I am a poster child for this. Being a former powerlifter myself, I did rely on a lot of those structures because I didn't have that mobility in my ankles, so I lacked that dorsiflexion. So I relied heavily on my low back, my knees, and my hips. Some other things that we have seen through research are plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendinopathy, because of potentially having over tightness in that soleus muscle. Other parts of your body are going to have to take over. So in regards to plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendinopathy, these structures are being overstretched because you don't have that ability to bend that foot upwards. So they're taking the brunt of that load. So today we're just going to talk about a couple of ways that you can test for flexibility in your calf. So a lot of people test their flexibility right here, and I'll try to show you in this video on the side. Where essentially you're putting your leg back straight, you're leaning forward with your feet flat on the ground, and yeah, that's how you test for your calf flexibility. So the problem with this is, again, the gastroc on top of it crosses over that knee joint, so it's tightened the whole time, so you're really only testing for that gastroc. The way that you want to test for the soleus specifically is we're bending that knee. So again, we're putting that gastroc on slack and we're solely kind of focusing on that soleus in the back of your leg there. So essentially what we want to do is I usually I'll put my foot against the wall, and then my other foot that I'm testing, I'll put about halfway there. That'll be the distance, so you can measure that with a ruler just to know, so you have something to refer back to. at this point, you're going to bend that knee about 45 degrees or so, and you're going to try to touch your knee to the wall. If you can touch your knee to the wall, great. Move it back about an inch or half an inch. Just note the distance there, and then go again. If you can't touch the wall, then you know you've gone too far. So the key with this is to keep that heel down. As soon as you lift that heel up, you're cheating. It really negates the test. So again, you can push your foot forward just a little bit to make sure that you're barely able to touch that knee against the wall. I tried to show you the difference between both legs. I have a previous injury in my left leg, which affected the tendons in my toes. So right now I don't have the ability to kind of flex that soleus as much on the left as the right. So I showed you the difference. Sarah just brought me some dinner. I don't know if you can see that. We're having some gyoza. Okay, so let's jump into some strengthening for the soleus muscle. So again, the key to the soleus muscle is we are bending that knee, again, I repeat, to put that gastroc on slack. So with all of these movements, you're going to have about a 45 degree or more bend in your knees. So the first one I'll show you is the double leg kind of calf raise. Pretty straightforward. You can use a dowel or a stick or a chair, a bookshelf for balance to make it a little bit easier. Again, we're focusing on keeping our feet kind of even. If you feel yourself kind of moving your feet in or out, try to keep them relatively in a natural position. So again, you're just going up with those knees bent, top range, and then back down. So we can do quite a few reps for these because the soleus is a primarily slow twitch muscle. You can do those 20 to 30 reps for each set of these. For the next one, what we're doing is we're doing double leg up, then we're doing single leg down. So that soleus is going to work in a concentric manner, and then you're going to isolate that one leg in an eccentric movement to essentially create more hypertrophy in that soleus muscle. So it's a little bit harder. Again, I used a stick for this one just for balance. If you can do it without, fantastic. It's hard for me or anyone probably at that to do it without, but more power to you. Next one, we had single leg. So again, I used a stick again for balance. So it's the same thing. We're just doing concentric movement and back down. So single leg, I just showed you on the right side. And again, really trying to create kind of an even foot pattern. So if you feel like you're getting sloppy and your foot's starting to collapse, stop, take a break. This one's going to be a little bit harder. So the last one is single leg eccentric. So we're going up with the right leg, up fast, and then count of 4, slow down. Up fast, slow down. All right? Okay, so hopefully this helped. Again, the soleus is often overlooked just because people pay more attention, it could be time, aesthetics, things like that to that gastroc, and it's very, very important. Don't get me wrong, gastroc is extremely important, but the soleus is kind of just another tool or muscle that we can strengthen or stretch or add mobility with to improve that performance, especially with snow sport athletes who are often in that kind of bent knee squat position for long periods of time, especially if you are popping up off of jumps, moguls, etc. So again, check out our stickers. We love the support. We love, trying to help you guys as much as we can. If this is something that has helped you, please comment below. We love to hear from you. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.